Namaste and welcome to your intermediate flow. So this evening we'll be focusing a lot on the heart chakra and actually down here in our abdomen. And we're going to start with some relaxation, so actually some face yoga to really relax and to center ourselves. So just find yourself in a nice seated position. If you're cross-legged, you can be sitting on your knees, however you're comfortable, maybe on the pillow because we'll be sitting here for a few moments. And then close your eyes and bring one hand to your heart center and one hand to your abdomen. And just begin to breathe into that. Notice those thoughts as they come into your mind and leave your mind. Tune into the areas where your hands are. We'll be focusing a bit on those parts of your body today, both the heart chakra and the abdominal chakra. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like and just remove your hands and give them a shake. Just kind of shake out your arms, shake out your shoulders, release any tension you're kind of holding there. And then take an inhale and swoop those arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring your palms down, palm to palm, and press your thumbs right into the middle of your forehead, your third eye chakra. And then down to your heart. And then release your hands, and again, you can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. Take your index finger and put your index finger right between your collarbone, right at the base of your throat. There's a little indentation there. Just gently press your finger in there. Don't push too hard, but pressure. So that is where our throat chakra lies, and also there's a acupressure point there. You might even experiment tapping that point a little bit, see how that feels. It shouldn't make you feel like, no choking sensation or not being able to breathe sensation. Just a little tap, tap, tap. It's an acupressure point. It's meant to release stress. And our throat chakra is where we find our voice. It's our ability to speak our truth, to express ourselves, hopefully with kindness and with love. And then pausing that, bring that same finger up right in between your eyes. That's your third eye chakra, and just press that finger gently in right between your eyebrows, really, kind of just above where your eyebrows would meet. Continuing to just breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And maybe tapping there for a moment, tapping on that third eye chakra. As you do this with your eyes closed, notice if you see anything behind your eyelids. Notice that stimulates color. Your eyelids might be flickering a little bit. And then pause that, move your middle finger to that point, and then place your index finger and your ring finger above the respective eyebrows. So your hands you've got 3 fingers, one in the middle of your forehead, and then each one on either side. And you're just going to kind of tap those together or rhythmically, whatever works, and move up your forehead. So you're just kind of tapping those 3 fingers from your brow bone up towards the top of your forehead. Whenever you reach the top, just move them back down. Continuing to inhale. Sometimes we forget to breathe when we're doing things like this, so just keep inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, tapping those 3 fingers up the forehead and down the forehead. Not, beating yourself up, just a tap so that you feel it. We're stimulating the muscles there, relaxing the muscles. And then pause that and bring both hands to the forehead. So the fingers meet in the middle. And really, really gently, just stroke your fingers out from the middle of your forehead towards your temples. So you're putting just enough pressure so you feel it, but you're not dragging the skin. It's not a muscle massage. You're just gently pulling the fingers across the forehead, releasing some stress. Releasing the tension. We all hold a lot of stress and tension in our forehead. This is considered face yoga. So it is supposed to smooth lines and wrinkles, but it's more for stress release. It should feel pretty nice. And then finally, drag those fingers down to your temples and place whatever finger you would like right there at your temple, the sort of tender spot there. Just giving a little pressure there. Again, nothing too hard, but just pressing. Index finger, ring finger, whatever feels good. If it feels good to make circular movements, you could do that. Maybe just let the finger be steady. Take a few inhales and exhales. And I lied one more thing, drag those fingers down towards your jaw. And you'll find a point where your jawbone meets. So there's a little area there. On some people, me being one of them, it's actually quite tender. So there's like a little indentation somewhere kind of just inside from where your earlobes are towards your face. Just give a little press there. And again, this can take a little bit of pressure. You don't want to be hurting yourself, but a little pressure there as you continue to breathe in and out. We hold pressure and tension in our jaw without really realizing it. Sometimes you don't even know it and you're just sort of like holding on to tension there. So just breathe a couple times there. See if you can let that go. And then keeping your eyes closed, bring your palms together and rub your hands together really rapidly and briskly so you create heat between your hands. And then when you feel like your hands are nice and warm, cup them over your eyes so you're not actually touching your eyelids. Your hands are like little suction cups. Palms, heel of your hand on your cheeks somewhere, and your fingers on your forehead somewhere, but a gap in the middle. And then flutter your eyelids open underneath the palms of your hand. And then go ahead and remove your hands away from your face. And take another deep inhale, arms extending up. And exhale. Let those arms come back down. Hi, Jill. Welcome. All right. How do I want to begin today? Let's bring the soles of your feet together and come to Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So the tighter your hips are, the more you're going to want to move your feet out a little ways from your body. More people with more open hips, you could bring your feet closer in. So just find a place that's comfortable. You want to sit up tall. Let those knees go. That's another area we hold tension, is here in our hips. One day when we're allowed to get massages again, or if you're so fortunate to have a partner at home that can give you a massage, that area in there in those big muscles of our glutes and where our hips are, loads of pressure. Great place. You can do it to yourself if you take a tennis ball and lay down and you put a tennis ball in there and kind of move your knee up and down. You can get to that area and massage that. And go ahead and just hinge forward here. Let your head release down. Let your back round over. Expanding your back body for a moment. And bringing yourself back up. Extend your legs. Cross left leg over right, leaving that right leg extended. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach the arms upwards. Think about growing tall, flexing your foot of the opposite foot, reaching towards the ceiling, and then twisting towards that left side. Left hand behind your body, hugging that left knee, or maybe coming over the left knee if you want. So you're gently pulling the left shoulder back. So speaking of those two chakras, this is where we're rotating through. We're twisting particularly in the abdominal area. You can look back over your shoulder if you want. You can also just keep your head right there in a neutral position. We're really focused more on the lower and the mid back. A couple deep breaths to expand the lungs. And releasing that back to center. Crossing the other leg over, flexing the left foot. Inhale, reaching tall, grow tall through the spine. And then exhale as you twist, hugging that knee, placing the right hand behind, gently pulling the right shoulder away. Taking a few deep breaths into this twist. And then coming back to center. Extending both legs out in front of you. Take an inhale, reaching the arms up, flexing the feet, hinging forward, letting that go. And just letting the weight of your body bring you down here. Since we haven't done a whole lot yet, you're going to be more tight. So don't worry about stretching too deeply. If it's tight on your hamstrings, you can bend your knees. You can flex your feet if you want more of a hamstring stretch. And just take a couple deep breaths and just let your body weight bring you down without trying to yank yourself down. Unless you're already warm, then that's fine if you want a deeper stretch. But if this is the first thing you've done all day, don't overdo it. Breathe in, notice where you're feeling a stretch. As you exhale, try to let go of any tension. Flexibility is definitely muscle, there's no doubt about it. But sometimes we hold mental stress too, and that mental tension can also restrict our flexibility. If someone's really stressed, they're also not going to be very flexible. So you do need that muscle flexibility, certainly. But as with everything in yoga, the mind goes in partnership with the body. And then go ahead and roll yourself up. Come on over onto hands and knees. Belly button pulling in. Inhale, come to cow and hold cow for a moment. Think about lifting the chest forward, so our first sort of heart opener. Think about pulling the shoulders down and back. Looking sort of up, but mostly forward, right? We don't want to crane our neck. And even though we're pressing down to the pelvis, it's supported. Our belly button is still pulling in. We're not just dropping into our low back. Take a breath there. And then whenever you next exhale, move that into a cat and pause there. So really exaggerating your cat, pressing into your arms, arching up through your back, pulling the belly button in. And then curling your toes under, lift your knees off and hover there for a moment. So now your abdominals have to start engaging more. Holding and just hovering. Using the breath. And then straighten your legs, press your hips all the way up, finding that first downward facing dog. And then again, jogging through, loosening up those hamstrings. Bending one knee, bending the other knee. Stretching opposite heel towards the floor. And then pausing the movement, trying to press both heels towards the floor. Even if they don't make it, it's just the impulse of stretching the heels towards the floor. And then as you inhale, come out into a plank. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, holding plank. Belly in. Contracting the gluteal muscles, contracting the abdominal muscles. And drop your knees towards the floor here. Hover, and then squeeze them back up. And again, bend the knees. They don't quite touch. And squeeze up. 2 more times, dropping them towards the mat and lifting. Last time, bend the knees and lift. Your option from here, or dropping to your knees and actually putting your knees on the mat, and lower yourself all the way down to the mat, chest, chin, and hips. Release the feet on the mat, slide those hands out to Sphinx. Lifting up. I often do a Sphinx as a early back bend, chest opener, heart opener, because you're supported, right? So anytime you do a lot of the other ones, you're having to use more of the rest of your body to hold yourself in this position. But here, our forearms are supporting us, so it's a lot less pressure oftentimes on the back. So you still want to contract your gluteal muscles here, so we're training those muscles. You still want to think about peeling the abdomen away from the mat. Some of us, our bellies might touch the mat, that's fine. But the hips and the pelvis are pressing in. The belly is lifting away. The chest is lifting up, opening forward. Shoulders are pulling down and back. So it's not like a hanging out and watching TV posture. You're still working. You're still active. But it's more of a back stretch than back strengthening. And drop your chin towards your chest. Pause there, feel a stretch in the back of your neck. Lift your head up. Again, not cramming it back, just a slight tilt. Chin lifted ever so slightly. And then forward, let your head drop again, chin towards chest. And let it hang, feel that weight stretching out the neck. And then bring it back to neutral. And go ahead and lower yourself all the way down. We're going to come to a forearm plank from here. You can do this from toes or from knees. Your forearms are already on the mat. So when you're ready, just press yourself up, either on knees or on toes. Keeping the spine in neutral here, belly button pulling in. Inhaling to the abdominal area. Exhaling. The breath really helps you here. When you think, oh my gosh, I can't hold this anymore, use the breath. Try not to stick the butt up just because that takes a little bit of the work off the abs. And definitely don't drop the hips down because that will put pressure on your low back. Transition this to a side plank, either side. So your forearm shoots away from the body. You can drop the knee if you want, or you can leave the legs long. And then option to extend the top arm. Reach that top arm overhead so your body's stretching long, 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 long. And a little bit of core engagement here, drawing elbow to knee, and extend. Crunching in, elbow to knee, working that abdominal area. Body staying stable, so our core is working double here. It's holding us stable, and we're crunching in for 2. Last one. And revolve yourself back through center, lower yourself down onto the mat. Reach your hands behind your body, palms on the mat, coming up to a variation of locust. So feet can stay on the mat this time. Just lift your chest, pull your shoulders back, pull your arms back. If you want, you can interlace your fingers here. Either way, so you can either press your palms into the mat, that will help you lift up, or you can interlace your fingers and that will help you lift up. Whatever works for you. Couple of breaths. And release that down. Bring those forearms back out in front of you. Curl the toes back under. Press yourself back up to your second plank. Breathing into the abdomen. Noticing if it's harder this time or easier this time without judgment. Just noticing it. Always feeling free to drop to knees. And then transitioning to the other side plank. Reaching the arms up, or the arm up, pressing the hips up. And then reach that arm overhead, stretch your body long. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, draw the knee in and extend. Nice and controlled. With these movements, slower is going to be better. I'm shaking, so if you're shaking, I'm right there with you. We did approximately 6, give or take, depending on how fast or slow you were going on the other side. So do about that many on this side. And then go ahead and revolve yourself back down and lower yourself back down onto the mat. And then from here, extend your arms long in front of you. And extend your legs long below you. And lift up arms and lift up legs for a full locust.
I'll tell you that, or you got me.
And release that down. And press into your hands, curl your toes under, push yourself back onto your heels, sitting in child's pose. Release head to the mat. Let yourself breathe. Let the abdominal area relax. Breathe into the back body. And then stretching the hands forward, curling the toes under, push yourself up, downward facing dog. Heels towards the mat, shoulders rolling away. And then step, hop, or float to the top of the mat, coming to forward fold. letting your head hang down, and then just shake that out for a moment. Maybe you sway side to side. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe you gently bounce. Knees bent will round your back and give you a little bit more of a back stretch. Legs straight will stretch your hamstrings a bit more. Does not matter, you decide what you need right now. And then slide the hands up, straightening your legs, slide your hands up your shins, finding that halfway position. So hands are on shins below the knees, belly is pulled in, shoulders are rolled down and back. Be very aware of your knees here. It's quite easy to lock them, so just make sure you're not locking knees, and you're definitely not putting your hands on your knees. That's like double pressure. Hands below the knees, shoulders down and back, belly pulled in, and you're looking out on the floor in front of you somewhere. Take a couple breaths here. Notice where your breath is traveling. Notice what's working here. Abdomen is strong to support the spine. And then your next inhale, inhale that all the way up. Extend the arms, gentle back bend here. Reaching the arms overhead. Contract the gluteal muscles as you gently press the pelvis forward. Opening the heart towards the sky. And then exhale, bringing your hands to your heart. Pausing here for a moment, feeling yourself rooted and grounded in the earth. Standing tall. Being aware of your strength right now, being aware of your balance. On your next inhale, we'll do a sun salutation. So inhale, arms extend up. So your namaskar A. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, right foot steps back. Release the right knee down to the mat as you rise up in a crescent lunge. Pressing the hips forward, opening towards the sky. And as you exhale, hands find the mat, left foot steps back, coming to plank. Option to lower to knees or do chaturanga from here. Your option, cobra or up dog. You decide what's appropriate for you. And then working your way back to down dog. Holding and taking a breath. When you're ready, the right leg will lift, swing forward, plant it down, followed by the left, forward fold. And inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time stepping left foot back, releasing the left knee. And on the inhale, rising up in your crescent lunge, opening the chest towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping the right foot back. Lowering down, either all the way down and coming up to cobra or chaturanga to up dog. And exhale, pressing back to down dog. Holding down dog for a moment. Inhale, left leg extends up, swings forward, plants down, followed by the right, forward fold. And inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Coming into a variation of Surya Namaskar B. So we're going to come into Utkatasana, bending the knees, sitting low in the hips, arms can extend or they can always stay in heart center. Belly in, chest lifting. And forward fold. Inhale, floating halfway up. Exhale, releasing. You can step or hop back if you want to step 2 feet back together to plank. Working through vinyasa. Pressing back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg bends up, or lifts up rather, bend the knee, dropping the right heel towards the opposite side, opening through our right hip. If you want, if it feels good, you can make hip circles here, totally optional. Moving either direction or moving a few one direction, then going the other direction or not, and simply staying there in that open pelvis position. And then bring yourself back to center. Swing that leg all the way through, plant it down, rising up to a high lunge. Pressing back through the back heel. Right knee is deeply bent but without tracking out over our toes. Shoulders down and back. Can you open your chest towards the sky? Contracting your gluteal muscle here. Taking an inhale. Twisting this, so you're twisting towards the front leg. If your right leg is forward, towards the right. But we're staying high. We're not binding against our legs. So our body is vertical, our body is upright, but arms are extended, right arm reaching behind us, left arm reaching in front of us, twisting through. And then Exalted Warrior, right arm drops down, front arm, left arm lifts up, breathing into the ribs in the front. Taking a deep breath here. Any wobbling is fine. And then cartwheel those hands down to the earth, step that right foot back. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up Cobra, up Dog. Exhale, press back down Dog. Other side, left leg lifts up, bends the knee, opens up towards the other side. And then your option here, if you want to do hip circles, moving through that joint. One direction or both directions or not at all. And then pause that movement, come back to center. Swing that leg all the way through, plant it down, rising up, high lunge. Again, actively pushing through that back heel is going to stretch that leg. Deep bend in the front knee, pulling the shoulders down and back as you open the chest up. Anytime we back bend, you rarely are thinking, I'm going to back bend. It almost always starts with the chest opening, the shoulders pulling back. And it just is that you have nowhere else to go but to begin to back bend. So always think about that opening of the heart center, often towards the sky, although not always. Twisting this towards the front leg. So if left leg is forward, twisting towards your left, right arm shoots forward, left arm shoots back, staying nice and high. Again, noticing that twist in our lower abdominal area. Releasing the back arm down, lifting the front arm up. Exalted Warrior, breathing into the right ribs. And then cartwheel the hands down to the mat, step the left foot back, working through your Chaturanga. And then actually dropping down to knees and resting for a moment in Child's Pose. And from there, rising back up, pushing the hips back up, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, hopping 2 feet or stepping right foot forward followed by left, coming to the top of the mat. Deep bend in the knees, rising up, Utkatasana. Sitting low in the hips. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, stepping left foot back or hopping 2 feet back to plank. Working through your vinyasa. Finding your way to your down dog. So I gave you the option to flip the dog on this one because it is also a chest opener, also works the hips. So your option, you could extend that right leg up and just hold it there. You could bend the knee towards the other side and hold it there. Or if you want to come down into Wild Thing, flip it down, left leg extends, right leg is bent, and then you really push up through the hips, reach that right arm and look behind you. So the whole front of your body is facing up towards the sky, really open. Take a couple of deep breaths in here. Notice any constriction, any tightness. Try to breathe past that. And then flip yourself back over, recenter that leg. And then bring that leg all the way forward, rising up to your Warrior One. So back foot pivots. Front knee is bent, although potentially not as bent as it was before. Maybe it is, depends on your body anatomy. On me it is not. Warrior Two, opening the hip, transitioning to our Warrior Two, gazing out over that front hand. And then straightening the front leg. You probably need to walk your feet a little closer together for Trikonasana. Often in Warrior Two, I end up with really spread legs, and you want them a little closer in Trikonasana, but you decide what's best for you. So for Trikonasana, we're going to hinge forward, reaching that right arm forward as much as we possibly can, and then just let it go wherever it is. probably not on the floor. Extend the left arm up. So we should be using our abdominals here, pulling that belly button in. Resist the temptation to press on your shin. Maybe your hand has found a block, that would be fine too. Breathing into this. If you'd like additional abdominal challenge, raise your right arm up under that right ear. And then if you'd like, you could raise the left arm overhead. So arms are reaching overhead. I have a teacher friend who calls this catching a beach ball. Catching a beach ball asana. And then very slowly we're going to rise up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Facing the long edge of your mat, turning your toes out. Bring your hands to your waist for a moment. Squat down like you're going into goddess pose. So bending your knees, shifting your hips back. And then I actually want you to bring your forearms on the insides of your thighs. So you're going to be bent over more. Normally in goddess I want you really vertical. In this case we're not going to do that. We're going to have you bend down a bit. And you're going to press back to open the thighs. Knees over ankles. I'm just adjusting, seeing what I want us to do. So from here, I want you to straighten your legs, let your head hang over, and then bend your knees. And you're actively pressing your arms against your legs. Straighten up. It's almost like you're resisting your forearms as your legs squeeze in and straighten, and then pressing your arms against your thighs to bend the knees. Couple more times. In. So there's just a little extra resistance happening here. One more time squatting down, and then when you stand up, go ahead and just pivot your feet parallel and let your body hang over. Let your head hang down. Taking a breath. Bring your hands to your waist and press halfway up. Similar to where we are in our halfway forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. So again, abs are engaged. You should notice your glutes being engaged here, and actually a big stretch behind your hamstrings and your glutes potentially. Belly button pulling towards the spine. And then press yourself all the way up, coming to stand. Deep inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Exhale, pivot back to the front of the mat. Right foot forward, left foot steps in just a little bit. We're going to come to Revolved Triangle. This one, a block can be very handy, but if you haven't got anything like a pillow or a book or a block, it's fine. Just be aware that sometimes the ground feels very far away. We're going to do Revolved Triangle, Parvita Trikonasana. So feet are on railroad tracks, and then you ever so slightly angle your back foot just for stability. Standing up nice and tall, let's put our right hand on our hip and raise our left arm up overhead. Begin by hinging forward like you're trying to reach that left arm way, way, way out in front of you. And then cross it across your body, aiming for the floor outside of your pinky toe. Now this is where you might not reach the floor. Maybe your hand finds your ankle. Maybe you have a book or a block you can put your hand on. Maybe you come to fingertips. And then pause, find your stability, and rotate towards that right side. So right shoulder is aiming towards the sky. Chest is trying to open to that wall behind you, like next to your right leg. Twisting, twisting, twisting. If you want, you could extend the right arm as well. So right arm and left arm are reaching opposite one another. Good, and then release that forward. Let yourself hang over for a moment. We're going to launch into standing split, so right foot is forward, hands find the floor, bend the knees so the hands can find the floor, and then lift up onto that right leg, extending the left leg behind you, let your head drop. Depending on your balance here, you could hold your right ankle with one or both hands. I can sometimes do it on this leg, never on the other leg. And then step the left foot to meet the right. Let your head hang over, forward fold. Bending the knees, rising up into chair. Arms extend, sitting low. Inhaling. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hopping or stepping back, finding plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Rising up to cobra or your up dog and working your way back to down dog. Heels towards the mat, arms extending, rolling shoulders away from ears. Lifting the left leg up, same option here. So left leg can extend, left leg can simply bend and drop towards the other side, stacking the hips. Or left foot can flip all the way around, right leg extends, left knee is bent, and then we push up and try to open the whole front of our body towards the sky. Pressing through the left hip, the chest. Inhaling and exhaling. If you flipped, flip yourself back over. Center yourself, swing the left leg forward, rising up, Virabhadrasana, Warrior One. Back foot at an angle. Front knee bent, actively pushing in the pinky edge of that back foot, actively pulling your right hip forward. And again, the back bend here comes from that lifting up, growing tall, tall, tall through the spine, pulling the shoulders back, opening the gaze towards the sky, opening the chest towards the sky, and then maybe a back bend happens. Definitely don't force it. Opening that to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Gaze out over that front hand. Deep inhale here, supporting yourself, absolutely vertical. And then straightening the left leg, maybe the feet walk closer together, but in more or less the same position. As we hinge forward, finding Trikonasana, reaching forward as much as possible, left arm drops down, right arm comes up. Think about pulling the right ribs in. If I were in class with you, I would come around and I would just poke my index finger in your right rib cage right now to have you bring it into your body. Pull the belly button in. No weight being borne on your left hand. Wherever it is, it's just kind of dangling in space. Increase it if you would like by extending the left arm, right arm reaching overhead, catching a beach ball asana. And then very slowly we're going to rise up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Turn those feet out again, coming down into more traditional goddess pose. Bending the knees, sitting back in the hips. My back is to you, but I'm just going to stay here. Goddess arms, pulling the shoulder blades together. Arms at a right angle. Careful not to track out over toes, if at all possible. Holding and breathing. Supported through your core, everything working here. And then rising up, bring the hands behind the body this time. Pivot the feet so they're parallel. Inhale, pull the arms down your back, open your chest towards the sky. And then forward fold, letting the arms drape overhead. Not pushing or bouncing or stretching, just letting the arms hang. And then using the arms to pull you back up. Pivot towards the front. Again, probably stepping feet a little bit closer together. Left foot forward, right foot behind you at an ever so slight angle. Left hand on hip, right arm extends, Parvija Trikonasana on this side. So we hinge forward, reaching, reaching, reaching with that right arm. And then that right hand finds the ankle, the shin, a block, or the floor. Find your stability, because it's a tough one, it's a wobbly one. And then turn your body towards the left, and then option to turn to reach your left arm overhead. Option to turn your head towards the ceiling if you would like. More important is your torso. Can you open your chest so that you're facing that left side? Imagine 2 panes of glass you're trying to squeeze between. And then release that left arm down to the floor. Bending the knee, placing both hands on the mat, launch yourself into your standing splits on this side. Right arm lifts up. Or right leg lifts up, sorry. Option to hold your ankle or your foot here. And then releasing that foot to the floor, bending the knees, rising up one last time to Utkatasana. And then rising all the way up as you inhale and exhale. Good. For our balanced posture tonight, we will do dancer, which I think we've done before, but it falls in the same back bend, heart opening family of postures. So I don't care which one you do first. I'll stand on my right foot first, so that's how I cue it, but you can do either foot. Bend your opposite knee, in my case, my left knee, grabbing hold of your foot or your ankle. Knees are parallel, so it's like you've just sort of lost the bottom half of your leg. Wait, the top half of your leg are still side by side. Right arm extends. If this posture is a challenge, you can stay right where you are. You could also put your right hand on a wall or a chair for support. From here, kick your left foot back. Press the knee away from the body. Press your foot into your hand. You will end up hinging forward, but don't think about hinging forward. Think about lifting that foot away from you. Imagine your right hand is trying to grab your left toe. I realize you're a million miles away, so am I. But it's the impulse that we're going for. Lifting the back toe up, lifting up the chest, opening the heart towards the sky, gazing in front of you. Can you lift the back leg just a little bit higher? Good, and then come back to standing. Bring the right arm down, bring the left arm down, shake it out. Switching sides. Find your stability on 2 feet. Shift your weight to your left. Put your right foot or ankle in your hand. It's a nice moment here just to give yourself a quadricep stretch. We're going to need this in a moment. We're going to do bow on the, or wheel on the floor so you can, or bow, sorry. So this prepares you for bow. Dhanurasana, I'll just use the Sanskrit. Left arm extends up, and then kick that right foot into the hand. Lift the right knee away from the body. Open up that right hip. Open the chest towards the sky. Right toe trying to reach the left hand so it can catch it. Taking a couple of breaths here. Feeling the nice back bend, the nice chest opening action. And then bring that back down. Release the arm, release the leg. Deep inhale, extending arms upwards, hinging forward and letting yourself go. This time grabbing hold of your big toes with your peace fingers, trying to straighten your legs as much as you can. And then bend your elbows and pull the crown of your head towards the floor. Weight in the heels. And if you're tight and your knees are bent, that's fine. Just think about pressing away from the floor, maybe straightening a little more. Good. Release that. Bend your knees, hands to the mat. Step one foot back. Step the other foot back, coming to plank. And lower yourself all the way down. So we'll do it on your asana, and we'll do it in stages, so you don't have to do the full version. So first things first, I like to start just with my hands kind of wherever beside my body. They're going to move, so it doesn't really matter. Bend both knees. So we're basically going to be in the same posture where we were a moment ago standing. From here, press into your hands and lift your chest up off the mat. So for some of you, this might be sufficient. You just want to stay here. If you want to try to reach back, you can reach those hands back. And again, you might not reach and you just stay here. Totally fine. If your hands can catch your feet or your ankles better, grab here. Try to squeeze your knees together. They love to flare open. And then press your hands against your ankles against your hands, just like we did a moment ago. Lift your feet up off the mat. Pull your shoulders back. Open your chest towards the sky and take a few breaths. To deepen this, you just keep lifting the knees, lifting the chest. Trying to get as much of your torso and your body off the mat as possible. Take a deep breath. 2 more breaths. And release that down. Press your hands in the mat. Keep your knees together as you push back, finding child's pose. Let your body round over. Let your head find the mat. And bring yourself up to sit, spinning yourself around, planting your feet on the mat. Extend your arms out in front of you, hinging back, finding boat. So you can stay here, feet on the floor. You could lift your legs up, tabletop, or you could extend your legs long in Navasana. Chest is lifted, belly pulling in. If you want, pump your arms like we do in Pilates, like we're doing the hundreds, and see if you can keep yourself stable. Imagine you're making little waves in the water, but your canoe's not moving. Inhaling and exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift those arms up overhead. Pull the belly button in, lower your arms, lower your legs, stretch yourself long along the mat. Draw your knees into your body. Give yourself a hug. Cross the right leg all the way over the left, almost like you're going into an eagle. Shift your hips to the right and let your knees fall to the left. Extend your arms out into a T and then look over your right shoulder. One final twist. Wringing out that spine. Twists are very good counter pose anytime you do back bends, so forward bend is as well, but twists are technically the counter pose to back bends, why we almost always end in a twist, because we've always done some sort of a back bend in the practice. And then bring yourself back to center. You'll be crooked, so shift yourself on the mat. Cross left leg over right. Shift your hips to the left and let the knees fall to the right. Turning and looking over the right shoulder, or left shoulder rather. Breathing into that. And then bring those knees up, reshift yourself, stretch your legs down below you, stretch your arms up above your head, press your heels away, maybe clasp your hands together. Take a deep breath, imagine you can grow 1 millimeter longer, and then exhale, bring your arms down beside your body, closing your eyes. Maybe taking a couple of deep breaths. You could even do a lion's breath here, inhaling through your nose. And stick out your tongue and let it go. So you just release. And again, inhaling. Let it go. One last time. Ever so slightly tilt your chin towards your chest so you're not arching your head back. Allow yourself to breathe here. As you exhale, feel yourself melt into the earth. As you inhale, drawing in energy and strength. And begin to allow yourself to reawaken here, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling wrists and ankles. And rolling head from side to side. Draw your knees in and roll to your left side of your body. Left arm extended, letting your arm rest, letting your head rest on your arm. Thanking yourself for your practice. And then keeping your eyes closed, bring yourself to a seated position. So again, we'll be seated for a moment. So find something that's comfortable. If you need to open your eyes and stick a cushion under you or something, that's fine. If you want to sit in hero's posture or thunderbolt posture with your legs tucked behind you or any of the cross-legged positions, that's fine. So we were talking about alternate breath at the beginning, but actually, I just want to do the relaxing breath here. So you're going to take your right thumb and place it against your right nostril, and we're just going to breathe in and out through our left nostril. The option is always to retain the breath at the top and at the bottom. That's considered more advanced, so if it makes you uncomfortable, don't do it, and just breathe in and out. So I'm going to do a 4 count and a 4 count and an 8 count exhale, but if that isn't working for you, you just do what you want to do. So pressing your thumb against your right nostril, inhale through your left nostril for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it. 3, 2, 1, and then exhale through that same left nostril. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same thing again. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Release the other nostril. Hold that exhalation as long as you can. And then inhale through both nostrils. And let it go. As we begin, bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the abdomen. Once again, watching your breath. Feeling your heartbeat under the hand in your heart chakra. Feeling both hands rise as you inhale. Both hands fall as you exhale. And bringing your awareness to these areas of your body. And just like we did at the beginning, taking a moment to take stock, noticing your body and its state, noticing your mind, noticing your thoughts, noticing your emotions and your heart. Notice if anything feels different from before, better or worse, or no change, without any judgment. Just noticing it, just tuning in. I said on my Facebook post today that I firmly believe that if more people did yoga, the world would just be kinder. Yoga is different from other kinds of exercise. We don't do it for the dopamine and the endorphins and those things that make us feel good when we exercise. This mind, body, heart, breath connection stimulates something different in our body. It's the parasympathetic nervous system. Brings us more in tune with ourself, with our surroundings, with other people. And I believe it creates an energy that we then take out with us in the world. So even those people who don't do yoga, when we interact with them, we share our energy, we share our love, we share our light. And the hippie dippie yogi in me believes that that just can keep going, keep going, keep going. And the more of us that did this, the kinder the world would be. So this is my little way to spread a little bit of love and a little bit of kindness, and hope it has some small impact. Press your hands together, finding once again that heart chakra with the backs of your thumbs. Inhale into that. Bringing your thumbs to your third eye between your eyes and breathing into that. Bring those same hands to the crown of your head, to your crown chakra. Taking a breath there. And then bringing them back to the third eye, back to the heart. Om Shanti Om. Wish you all peace. Namaste.